Be very, very good to your wives. Love them as Christ loved the church, gave himself for them, for her, because they may need some extra encouragement, extra strengthening, extra love, because the enemy has his targets set on them in a particular way that he doesn't always on men. Remember in the garden when we tried to cause man to fall and eventually separate themselves from God, he didn't come after Adam, he came after Eve. And so I'm sorry for the bad news, ladies, but if you're experiencing things in your life that you can't explain, don't understand, and aren't sure where they're coming from, perhaps that's the answer. Perhaps there's a target on you from the enemy. And so Job then says, we've received good at God's hand, shall we not also receive evil? And he refuses her invitation to curse God and die. So thank God that Job stood firm in his faith, that he addressed the question directly, and gave us again an example of how to respond when things aren't going our way, or when things are really not going our way, how to respond to those who might have maybe some bad advice for us. Now, the three friends come, and it says in verse 12, the three friends, when they lifted up their eyes afar off and knew him not, they lifted up their voice and wept. They rent everyone his mantle and sprinkled dust upon their heads toward heaven. So they sat down with him upon the ground 7 days and 7 nights, and none spake a word unto him, for they saw that his grief was very great. And that's the best thing they did. Just get there with him. Not say a word. Just get there with him. The other thing that's really, really sad is we're going to find out throughout this book about Job's influence in his community, about all the people that used to praise Job, about all the people that used to come to him for help when they didn't have enough money or enough food, and the people that he bestowed generously some of the blessings that God had blessed him with. And out of all those people, only 3 friends come to his aid, to his side. So if you feel sometimes isolated in your suffering, that's Job's experience too. He only had 3 friends come, and they're quickly going to turn from good friends to miserable comforters. So if you have 2 or 3 good, I should say true friends in life, you're just as rich as Job is. People that will come not only when you have something to offer them, or not only when it's party time, or not only when it's Super Bowl time, or not only when it's time to go to the lake, but when it's time to just sit down there and I don't even have the words, brother. I just want to let you know I'm here with you. Those kind of friends are few and far between. And so I thank God that even though, just as Job turned through the book and began to complain and justify himself and perhaps even blame God, and the 3 friends eventually turned and started blaming Job, at least up front they did the right thing. They said, if everyone else is forsaking you, we'll get here with you. And they just sat with him for 7 days. We talk about the patience of Job. How about the patience of his friends? I hope that all of us have those kinds of friends, and that we can also be those kinds of friends to one another. I invite the music team forward to close us in worship. And if God has laid anything on your heart that you'd like to pray about, I'll be over here.